welcome to Love in the Time of Hydra, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 10th anniversary podcast. Today is October 21st, and I'm going to tell you what was going on in the world 10 years ago in 2014. People just could not stop listening to All About That Bass by Megan Trainor. For the love of God, pick a new song, 2014. The top movie at the domestic box office was David Ayer's Fury. The 2014 World Series began with the San Francisco Giants defeating the Kansas City Royals 7-1. Carrie Fisher turned 58. Glenn Powell turned 26. And Andrew Scott turned 38. But the most important thing that happened on October 21st, 10 years ago, was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 episode, A Hen in the Wolf House, aired on ABC at 9/8 Central. Hello, I'm Jamie Jurak, and you know who I'm here with. It is my co-host, my boyfriend, and level 2 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, Tony Paletto. Hey, Tony.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you for letting me be your co-host again. I don't know why I started with a thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, everyone who's listening. And I know this isn't a live one, but thanks for tuning in after the fact. Those actors that you named who had birthdays, any significance to this program?
I needed to fill some time, some space.
Okay. All right. So
I like them.
Andrew Scott is not
I
on
like
this show.
3 people, and one of
Uh-huh.
them I have a tattoo of. So I thought, let's give him some love today. But
Okay,
no.
very good.
Sadly for us all, Andrew Scott does not show up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sad indeed.
So as Tony mentioned, we are not live today because I'm in a wedding in Chicago over the weekend. And we decided, since there's no live audience, we would forego having a guest and do something a little different. Back to our very first episode, we mentioned the possibility of quizzing Tony. And I'm so sorry I can't remember who, but somebody recently on social media asked if we were going to do that. And I thought, yeah, let's quiz Tony on season 1. Thanks for reminding me. It's just us, so we can get a little loosey-goosey. I got some wine. Shout out to the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Give me an excuse to drink.
Angel, drink.
Exactly. But before we get into trivia, we'll get Tony a little tipsy. That way, maybe it'll be harder for him to answer my questions. I don't know if they're easy or hard. We'll find out. But we'll talk about the episode first. A Hen in the Wolf House. It was written by Brett Fletcher, who previously wrote Girl in the Flower Dress, The Magical Place, and Providence. And the episode was directed by Holly Dale, who previously directed The Bridge. Our 7 main cast members are back, along with a lot of returning characters, including our boy Kyle MacLachlan. But the most important thing, the big thing, is Adrienne Palicki making her debut as Bobby Morse. I can't wait to talk to Tony about Bobby Morse. This is the Bobby Morse show, y'all. So hyped. When the show ended, Tony was like, wow, she's unattractive, which was him being very sarcastic.
Yeah. And Jamie's face for just a millisecond thought that I was serious, and I got to watch that in real time. I wish you all could have seen it.
Listen, Tony and I don't agree on Carrie-Anne Moss, and so sometimes if he says someone's unattractive, I have to think my boyfriend's being honest with me and believe him.
Sorry to have surprised you, but no, she's beautiful.
Yes, just like Carrie-Anne Moss. So in this episode, Gemma's position in Hydra is compromised when Raina threatens to expose her. Meanwhile, Skye is getting closer to learning the truth about her father. Tony, what do you think about this episode?
I think it's my favorite one of the season so far.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so much popping off. It's an incredibly eventful episode. Everyone's kind of on bringing their A game. Like, the scene with Coulson and Raina is just delicious, and Skye has this sort of emotional crescendo, and Fitz and Gemma's back, and it's just like so much popping off. So in terms of just, a page turner of an episode, I mean, I think this is my favorite of the season so far.
Cool. It doesn't beat last week for me just because Face My Enemy has just such a close in my heart. But this is a top tier. And a part of that for me is just, I love the Bobby reveal. I love that we think she's this like crazy Hydra bitch and she's really scary, but then it's like, no, trick you. Honestly, I wish that we had gotten her for like a couple episodes thinking she was this character before the reveal.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have been a little more impactful, but it's still so impactful. I still remember it. I was like, I remember watching this and being like, Gemma is gonna gonna die. How is she gonna get out of this? And then those batons come out. Are you, Tony, like familiar with Mockingbird and Bobby Morse in the comics at all? Do you remember her from the comics?
I didn't even connect it as to Mockingbird until just this moment. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not super well read on her, but I absolutely know who Mockingbird is. I was like, those batons are, I mean, that's signifying her as someone, but it didn't click. Now, thank you for telling me. Hell yeah,
Yes.
Mockingbird. Hell yeah.
I could be mistaken, and there's no chat to correct me, but I don't believe they ever refer to her as Mockingbird or Agent 13. And of course, at the end of Hawkeye, we learned that Laura, her watch says Agent 13, and that upset a lot of Shield fans because it's like, but Bobby's, but they never say that. So like, why does it matter? It does not bother me personally. But
Sure.
she's here, she's got her batons, she's hot. What else can you freaking want?
Is she? Holy moly! And she's dangerous when she's being mean Hydra lady. It's just loaded with like dominatrix vibes. I mean, up down to like her dress and like cornering Sky or cornering Gemma in a bathroom and like berating her. I'm like, this is sexy scary. It's sexy
Yeah.
scary. It's like
Yeah.
as one word. So yeah. Oh, I'm into Bobby for sure.
You reminded me last night that you've only seen the first John Wick once, and I
Right.
feel like in the near future, now that if you see her more in Agents of Shield, who knows how long she'll be here? But then we should rewatch John Wick because it's fun to see her in that universe.
Word. Yeah, I've only seen all of those movies one time,
That's crazy.
which is cool because that means like I got a marathon coming one of these days and it'll be a good time.
Heck yeah. God, I love him so much. So okay, into the episode, it opens with a reception, and all of a sudden these like fancy rich people are drinking and they get poisoned, and the effects are kind of similar to what the obelisk did. And we later learn it's because Hydra is like using bits of the victim of Creel from that diner to like try to recreate it, and it's not working. But I mean, 8 people died. Like you were mad. You were like, fuck Bakshi.
No. I wasn't mad at Bakshi for doing an evil thing. I expect Bakshi to do that. What I'm mad at is how he was like super mad at the operatives of the mission that only 8 people died. What were they supposed to do? They're dressed like waiters and they're doing a toast. What were they supposed to like tilt everybody's glasses into their faces and be like, come on, guys. Now I know we're just the staff, but everybody be sure and drink your toast. It's really important and special. And like, so like, how are you going to get mad that like the plan worked very well? It's not their fault. I was just mad at his delegation of his orders on his mission. I think Bakshi's fucking stupid. That's all.
Fair. I did write in my notes that I was impressed that you remembered his name. So
Bakshi?
that was, yeah.
Well, Ralph Bakshi is one of my favorite directors of all time. We've watched Wizards.
Oh yeah, Wizards.
And yeah, he's incredible. If you guys don't know Ralph Bakshi, I'll do a little film nerd plug here. Incredible animator. Started on Mighty Mouse and Terry Toons, got fired because he had Mighty Mouse crush up a leaf and snort it and then get really strong. And then he made a lot of lurid, dark, twisted, incendiary animated films for grown-ups and some cool fantasy stuff. And he did the Lord of the Rings animated film. One of the coolest dudes ever. That's how I remember Bakshi. I
should have known. I should have known. So we also see that Coulson's carving on the desk. Sky is sus. Let's see. She wants him to declassify. He says, like, I could, but I won't. Like, Sky is like on top of it. She is getting like she knows something's up, and she's not
100%.
betting down. And there's a time where I maybe would have been annoyed by this, where it's like, girl, know your place, but that's what makes her who she is, and that's why he chose her in the first place, to be a part of his team.
Yeah. Well, she's trying to do the fucking job, and she knows that there's things being withheld from her that are, she could do the job better if she had disclosure on all of the stuff. And she senses the withholdingness, and she questions whether or not she should be privy to information. Yeah, she's doing it correctly. She's trying to do her job, and she's also trying to hold on to the conscientiousness of Coulson, which is something that like he's been, as he is with a lot of these characters, very paternal. And now he's being cold for understandable reasons. Like I'm not mad at Coulson for it or anything, but like she's holding him to a standard by being so berating of him.
Yeah. From there we cut to Dad. I kept writing his actual name in my notes, but then I remembered that we don't know his name, so I kept like erasing it and writing Dad. Or Dr. Dad. And then you were like, "Oh, is this how he gets his Bloodman powers?" Tony's not giving out his Bloodman.
I
Um,
I've accepted that my Bloodman theory might not be accurate, but I also do think that that he is the Bloodman, and you're just being coy. So I don't think I guessed it so early. So yeah, when I saw McLaughlin doing his thing, I mean, with Raina, he's just very intense and scary. And I just wrote in my notes, McLaughlin, yikes, because he's dark, very dark man.
I wrote in my notes, Kyle is so scary, and it's fun because we love him most from Twin Peaks, and there is no greater, kinder, sweeter, best top tier man than Dale Cooper. And so when
Yes.
you get, and we've seen him, like we've seen Dark Coop, like we've seen, and
Yeah.
Kyle's done other things. We've seen Kyle be kind of scary, but this is like a whole new game, and I love, like, I especially he scares Raina, and Raina, like they say in the episode, Raina doesn't scare easily.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's the evil Dougie is in Twin Peaks: The Return is scary because there's a blankness to him, and just an unfeeling coldness. But this character, the Doctor, or Dad, or whatever we're calling him, Kyle MacLachlan, is full of fire, and I really like where this character's heading. I'm so interested.
Hmm. And I think that the most important moment of this scene is when Raina says, "I really wanted to bring you Sky," and he goes, "That's not her name."
Yeah.
What did you
Well,
think in
yeah.
that moment?
I said that makes sense. Yeah. Probably not what
Well,
he.
yeah. Well, we already know she gave herself the name Sky.
Oh, I see. So maybe Sky is like somebody in Marvel lore or something, and they're being all coy about it. Maybe Sky's like a character who, like, I might actually know this character or something. Maybe that's what's going on. Is that what's going on?
Okay.
Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm interested in your theories. So,
Okay.
but I do think like the fact that they're making a point. Her name's not Sky, but we again
There's no
we
Sky.
already knew that because in I was actually gonna make this trivia question and I forgot, so I'll just throw it in now. Do you remember
Fuck.
the name? Do you remember the? Oh, here we go. Do you remember the name that she was given at like the orphanage by the nuns that made her change to Sky?
No.
It was Mary Sue Poots. Was the name?
Oh yeah, I remember now. It was really funny. Those nuns. That was a hilariously dick move by those nuns.
Yeah, 100%. So okay, we got Gemma at Hydra. There's a fun little comic Easter egg in the scene where the guy was like, the file says Bessie. Bessie is the name of Hell Cow. Are you familiar with Hell Cow in the Marvel
I am
comics?
not. No.
This Hell Cow, Bessie, was just a normal cow who was bitten by Dracula and then became like a cool vampire zombie cow named Hell Cow. She debuted in Giant Size Man Thing number 5 in 1975. And now Bessie is not to be confused with Bova, who is a different cow who helped bring Wanda and Pietro to life. She was there when they were born. lot of cows going on in Marvel.
I did not know that there were two significant bovine characters in the Marvel comics.
There could be more. I'm
There
only
could.
aware of Bova and Hell Cow myself. If anyone
Maria,
wants to
please
DM me,
let us know if there are any more significant cow characters in the Marvel universe. Thank you.
quick little Google. But I think that's a fun little Easter egg there. I'm gonna spoil this for you, Tony. Sadly, we will never be seeing Hell Cow on Agents of Shield. Uh,
What?
I know. I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to get
Damn it.
excited about it.
All right.
So okay. So then we learn about the Creel thing, take it from the victim. Whitehall asks Gemma what went wrong, and which is scary because, like the guy says, he knows your name. Like that's, you don't want
Yeah.
that guy to know your name. That's not good. It's good if you were really in Hydra, but you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He said that because he was jelly.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I this scene of at the sort of board meeting, with staff meeting, whatever you want to call it, reminded me of that banal corporate evil from the law firm in Angel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Wolfram and Hart. Yeah. Mhm.
Wolfram and Hart. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's that kind of like we're all just people living a life, but also, yeah, cheers, Angel. But also, like, we're, conducting massive evil plots to kill many, many people, and we're glad to do it.
I
Marie, do you
have
have
an answer. Yeah, I have an answer for the cows. There are 7 notable cows in the Marvel comics.
I need all of
them. One of them is Autumn Bala, who's notable because her horn became, what is it? The Ragnahorn, and fell into the possession of Van Klein.
Okay.
Yeah, she has appeared in 7 different comic book issues, and then mentioned several different times, like 8 to 10.
Oh, wow.
There's Babel, who is one of Evolutionaire's new men and a handmaiden of Dr. Sarah Kinney.
Okay, evolutionary
She
makes sense.
she attempted to magically and genetically engineer a vessel for a demonic entity, Mephichton.
Holy shit. Okay, I guess we can't hear all of them because that's 2, and that's like dead.
Yeah.
2.
Okay,
and
next week
3 more.
Wait, okay. Next week, cow update. We're gonna do a cow week. Maria, get ready for your segment next week. Maria tells us about a Marvel cow.
Honestly, though, this is what I feel like Sony Pictures Animation should be making a movie about: the 7 cows of Marvel. Like, all right, Spider-Verse is cool as hell, but like, let me get a story about these 7 cows and their, I don't know what.
Heck yeah. I would love Bova. Like, I don't think Bova is ever going to be a part of like Wanda's story in the MCU, but because she's so important in the comics, I'm like, that's my girl. Okay, so moving on. Back on the bus, we see Fitz imagining Gemma thirsting over Mac, which I love because she calls him out like, this is your subconscious. Like, but who wouldn't thirst over Mac? And once again, here I say, this is why I thought the man was gay, because we've got men thirsting over him. I'm sorry. I make sense 10 years ago.
I did love that moment. Because like the thought had occurred to me like right before he said it, because he's getting like, a little jealous that Gemma thinks that he's hot, and I was like, that's your subconscious, dude. That's you saying that. And then she said it, and I was like, great, right there with you. I like that we're on the same page here.
Absolutely. And I do think that's something Gemma would have said, but then we have the Ward and Sky scene, and I got so grossed out when Hunter called him her Hydra boyfriend. It's like, ew, stop. I get why he said that, because last week she was like, the guy I have a crush on is crazy and in the basement. So like, he knows there was a romantic history, but like, still, I hated that. And then, Ward tells Sky that he got his info from Raina, blah, blah, blah. But this is where Sky's kind of figuring out about the writing, about how it connects to Garrett. There's a lot going on in this scene. Did you have thoughts about this scene?
I think this is the best person to have that information. It's inevitable. I mean, she just doesn't quit, and she's going to get the answers. I like that she went in there for one thing and came out with another. It is, I guess, in terms of, I understand they got to stretch this out a little bit, but like, I think it was the first episode where, he was going to tell her about her father. And we've had now like 3 separate conversations where, she doesn't want to hear it, or he doesn't get to finish. And it's not like totally unrealistic in terms of people behaving, but it is like, all right, but you know what? I feel like we're through it. It because she literally walked into a room looking for her daddy and found a picture of him being a nice gentleman. So we're past this whole playing this game with Ward regarding this subject, and I'm relieved of it.
Yeah, we're getting there. And then, of course, this is where Raina heads up to the Hydra office building and notices Gemma. We got the fish tacos. Okay, but here's my question about this Hydra building. Like they've got the Hydra logo inside on the walls. It's just like an open building. It's not a hidden facility. Like, do you think that like, and anyone can walk in at the end of the episode? Dad walks in, Raina's walking in. Do you think that is it because I don't know the answer to this? Do you think it's because Hydra is just like cool being out in the open now? Like, is it kind of like how in real life in 2024, it's just like it's kind of okay to be a Nazi again? Is this like what was going on in the Marvel universe 10 years ago?
Oh, you know what's so funny is that I didn't even clock it. I did not even clock how public that headquarters was, and now I think it's completely ridiculous. Like if
Mhm.
Hydra, I understand because like also here's the thing, like didn't Hydra get like in the end of the first season? Didn't Hydra get like hella rooted out by Shield? Like all of these double agents, they've just been more exposed now than they have been ever. And now but they're still, you walk to work or ride your bike there. It's weird.
That's why I like Whitehall is not someone we've seen before. That's why he's kind of in charge right now because the people that were in charge at the end of season 1 were busted, but it's a huge network, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, completely didn't occur to me
Yeah.
that they just you could just be like, yeah, I got Thai food for Mr. Whitehall. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, interesting. If anyone, again, DM us on Instagram anytime at LitoPod. Don't DM my personal account; I will never see it. But if you DM LitoPod, I will usually answer. So we'd love to hear from you. All right, this is when Skye confronts Coulson, and this is a great scene because Skye learns that they've been monitoring her. I love when she's like, "Did you put cameras in my bunk?" And he goes, "Not in your bunk." And in the reaction she has is really funny. That's a great Chloe moment. And then her DNA. Are you saying I'm an alien? It's a theory. Now, Tony, I'm curious, have you considered this? Like Garrett was writing, Coulson was writing, and you know that Skye had the same injection from the alien blood or whatever it was. Have you thought about this at all? Like, why isn't Skye carving?
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
had that thought. Absolutely. I part of me thought it maybe I don't know because like Coulson turned her onto the project. I think we see in episode 1 or 2 of this season where he's like she's also working on deciphering whatever this is. Right? Am I right about that? Because like she's there. It's like her and Mac. She's like there's a scene where she's like laying on a table and the writing is on that
Yeah.
table and it's on the wall. So I was a little confused.
Well, she's
Go
seen
on.
it, but she's only seen it in little parts. Like that's why at the end of the episode she clicks what it is for her because she's only
Okay.
been seeing it in tiny bits. I think that's why.
Okay.
Because she's been looking at it, but she didn't know the relation to Colson is basically it. She like, he's compartmentalizing kind of a thing.
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I understand that she didn't relate it to him. She just saw it as a project. But when she sees it in Colson's office, it's very clear. So, all right, cool. But no, regarding her origin, I figured something alien, whether it was the previous exposure to something alien or being an alien herself. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think also the fact that Kyle MacLachlan has seemingly managed the ill effects of the obelisk, which we now have a name for the diviner.
the diviner, yeah.
Yeah, now like he can handle it, and Raina can handle it, and so yeah,
Can he
no, it
handle
stands
it?
to reason.
I don't know if he can
Actually, I
handle
guess
it.
you're right. I guess you're right.
We've yeah.
He opened it up, and it's in the box, and we saw it, but we
Mhm.
did see Raina handle it.
Yes, we've only seen Raina touch it with Raina's the only person so far who has touched it and not dusted, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
okay, yeah, interesting shit.
mhm,
Again, not trying to predict where this is going with Sky, but I like where this is going with Sky.
mhm. Okay, then we get the Hydra. Hydra thinks they have a mole. I just wrote in my notes, "Scary lady." Gemma,
Hmm.
you like immediately frames her coworker. You liked that. You had like a reaction to that moment.
I said it before it happened. I
Mm,
said frame her creepy coworker,
yeah,
and that's exactly what she did. And yeah, because that guy was like previous episodes like annoying coworker, and this episode like oh no psychopath. Like he's
yeah.
really into the idea of like killing lots of people. So I'm like yeah, let's throw him under the bus.
Yeah, who cares? Like they needed to give that line to not make Jenna look worse or whatever. Jenna look
Yes.
bad, but like yeah, it totally worked. And this is okay. So this is when okay when Bobby first came out as this scary Hydra force. Did you have any thoughts like could this like did what were your first thoughts when you saw her just walking into that scene? Did you have any?
For a split second, I thought it was Agent 33. I was like,
Oh.
is this Agent 33 and it's her new position? And I was like, no, that's not her at all. So I once I got over that, I was like, interesting new character, sort of like a Gestapo enforcer type character for Whitehall and for Bakshi. So no, I was just like, she is a stunning woman, and she's very dangerous. That was my initial reaction. At no point did I suspect that she would be on our side. So that was great.
Yeah. So okay, then we get to this dinner with Coulson and Raina because Raina's threatening Simmons. A great scene. I just want to say the moment where Clark stands up and like buttons his jacket was like very sexy to me. Like, you know, I really enjoyed that. And then of course, then Raina, like, I like that Hunter is like, is she hitting on him? And May's like, that's what she does.
No, I love seeing the Coulson know how to sit with a jacket and stand with a jacket and pull a chair out for Raina. That's good stuff. That's good. That's good Coulson zaddy things, you know.
And we already talked about the bathroom scene, but like it's a great scene. If there's anything else you wanted to add to your thoughts.
It's a great scene. It's loaded with sex and danger. It's good. I like it.
Yeah. So we find out in the dinner that Raina wants Sky, and then she starts the countdown, and Tony said out loud, "Oh, you bitch."
I did, didn't I? I was stressed out. I was genuinely stressed out that we put a timer on this decision. Oh, but I'm so proud of my boy Coulson for not calling the bluff. It's like at first, it's so many layers to it. At first, I'm like, oh, he's just being an absolute hard ass. And then I'm like, no, he can see that she's scared and he's calling her bluff. And then it's like, no, Simmons is not even in danger. She's in danger, but not to the extent that Raina thinks it is. That was a great journey to go down. And to watch Ruth Nega's amazing performance, like she just kind of crumples. She just like slowly disintegrates. All of her confidence just goes out. And he's like, and I know he made the right call. Oh, it's a great scene.
Yeah, the whole, the no deal, everything. And did you clock that it was happening in real time? Like it was actually the amount of the countdown?
Yes.
Yeah, which is great, which is very cool. We have more to talk about. We have trivia coming. So we're going to take a quick 30-second break because I got to fill up my wine glass. Go fill up your drink. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Love in the Time of Hydra. We're talking a hen in the wolf house. It's just Jamie and Tony today. I'm going to refill my wine. I'm not going to lie. I think this is wine Tony bought to cook with, so it's not very good.
What? No, I think that was actually a decent bottle. You know what? The fans don't need to hear about this.
Well, it'll be a debate forever. I'm so glad. Thank you, everyone who's listening. If you are watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment. If please go on all of the things and write us 5-star reviews. It's so helpful for us. So we love you. Thank you. Please do that. All right. So after Raina's plan does not work, Gemma is busted because the photo has been sent out there. Bakshi's coming for her, and that's when we get Bobby and her batons. Tony, you did say yes when she started beating up the other Hydra guys.
It made me really happy, man. But like, as much as that's Bobby's moment, it really was Coulson's moment for me. Because I'm so proud of him for like having Plan B. God, of course he did. Having not one but 2 moles, and God knows how many others in that facility. That very public, easily accessible facility. It was a great moment.
And then we do the old tag and tail of Raina. I love that Hunter's drinking. I love that later Sky calls it out because it is funny. He calls her Ron Burgundy, which I think is a really yep, that's certainly a timely reference.
Yeah, that's not the first time she's made a not great pop culture joke, and it's unfortunate that
she
they keep going on her.
Spotting. Like, I'm sorry, Sky, leave the nicknames to Mac. That is
yes
job.
Yes.
So then Bobby and Gemma get to the roof. They jump on the invisible Quinjet. It's pretty cool. I love when Gemma says, "I like you," because it reminds me of my favorite line from Mission Impossible Fallout when Rebecca Ferguson says, "I like her" about Michelle Monaghan. I love that moment. And I just like when girls can just like, I like when girls kiss, but I also like when girls can just appreciate and like respect each other as pals too,
But mostly kiss.
Well, yeah. I don't think
Yeah, no, I also thought that
they're
was a
gonna
great.
kiss.
Yeah. I thought that was a great, great. I'm excited for their relationship. I like that she's so enamored with her badassery that she can't stop
Mhm.
calling her agent.
Yeah.
It's great. It's lovely.
And the part where she's like, "She's amazing." I love that
Yeah,
because she is amazing.
she
Everything she
is.
did was so cool. I love
Yeah,
her. So here we go. Sky then goes rogue, finds Dad's creepy hideout, finds the picture. And this moment I love because it's Dad because Dad Coulson comes out. We haven't seen a lot of Coulson Dad this season. When he comes into Gemma and cooks for her and everything, but basically like you're having one hell of a day, huh? And hugs her. I got a little teary-eyed.
yeah. It's
Mhm,
beautiful. It's what we've all been missing from him.
mhm,
And he deployed it when it was time to deploy it. He held her with such kindness and held her little head, and it was really, really sweet.
mhm,
I was very intrigued by this photo on the floor of Kyle MacLachlan, younger, just seemingly a regular ass dude holding a little baby, and
mhm,
I don't know what to make of it because not because that honestly that endeared me to his character, of seeing him as just he was just at one point he was just a guy. He wasn't a maniac carving dudes up in a house and bludgeoning people. Like I'm very curious. Like not to be like, but like, is this all Sky's fault? Like, is it just like, is she so alien, and was it like her just being alive that completely disrupted his and potentially her normal life? So it's I don't know. I'm having thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. I love when you have thoughts, and our listeners love. I will say one sweet comment I saw somebody say about because last week's episode was one of my favorites. Having Kevin and Drew on to talk their episode was like a
Yeah,
huge deal. They gave so much lovely insight, but somebody did say like, "Oh, but I'm just here to hear Tony's opinions." Because it's
great.
because you're our guinea pig, and it is fun to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, no, it's a great position to be in. I
Mm-hmm.
get blinders on. I watch the thing. I say the things.
Mhm. Also, a thing about this scene is that Dad is watching Coulson and Sky, and like he's pissed. Like
Oh,
this guy is acting a father to my daughter, and I just killed a bunch of people, and she saw it. I didn't want her to see me this way. Like he's upset that she sees him as a monster. The way he says monster, he's like he doesn't. It's. I think it's kind of clear that he doesn't necessarily want to be a monster, maybe, but maybe
yeah.
too far gone.
Oh, maybe too far gone for sure. There, but but not complete. It's that part of him hasn't vanished. Watching his heartbreak at this is this is his daughter's introduction to him.
Mm,
Is a room full of bodies and nobody's there, and you can see that really affect him. And yeah, that sends him down the rage path of now I'm teaming up with Whitehall to kill Coulson. Crazy.
yeah. And then Simmons comes home and we have the fifth Simmons reunion, which is it's so good. It's so sad. It's so awkward. He asks if she's really there. And, uh, it's just there's like a whole elephant in the room, and what's gonna happen next. I'm just so at this point watching it for the first time, like I don't think I was invested in anything more than I was invested in Fitzsimmons. Like just the fact that he thinks that she left because he said he had feelings for her is so sad.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a beautiful scene and very sad. What kills me is watching Fitz not allow himself to be happy to see her.
Mhm.
He is literally wrangling his feelings so that he does not put her off for being happy to see her. And she knows all of that. And so she's literally tiptoeing into that room to have this reunion. And it's just really sad. And also the fact that we've spent the past 4 episodes watching Gemma, but not actually Gemma, his subconscious manifestation of Gemma, watching Gemma encourage him to let Gemma go. And him having some success with that. For then the real Gemma to walk in is it's really sad. It's powerful.
I know. And Ian is so good. He's just so good. Like, even in the
Incredible.
littlest moments. Like, I'll say it every day for the next 6 years. Ian DeCastigar, I think, is the best actor on this show. And that's saying something because there's a lot of great actors on this show. But Ian is just on a level that I really want more from him in life. Because
I also want more from him in life, for sure.
And then the fun moment, we get a sad moment, but the fun moment where we find out Bobby is the ex that Hunter's been talking about.
Yeah. You guys made some sort of comment. I think it was Kevin made a comment. Yeah, he said something last week in our episode that he would we might find out who that person is or something to that effect. And so the fact that it was just right around the corner was such a delight. So actually it was fun because I anticipated it because of his remark. I was like, it's not her. Is it her? It's her. That was great.
Yeah. And I love, like, I vouch for you. Why the hell would you do that? Like, instantly in this 2 seconds, I'm obsessed with their dynamic. Like, whatever is going on with these exes, I love it.
Yeah. It's great because he has like a whole suitcase full of feelings that he hasn't dealt with, and she's fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's so fun. The imbalance of their relationship is such a great thing.
That's also not a common thing you see, I think, in TV in general. A relationship that a whole romance that's established and you meet the characters as exes is like just a fun idea that I don't think we see a lot.
Good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an exciting. Honestly, like this last scene, I'm like, I think that's why I love this episode so much, is like, I feel like now we're at episode 5 and we have a team, and we have so many dynamics. We're now all inhabiting the same space. Gemma's back. Ward's still in a hole. Good. Like, but we're all there. So I felt that, and it's it makes me excited. Makes me excited to watch more.
Yeah. And then of course, like, Skye, and Coulson, their final scene, she wants to stop her father. He's gonna show her, he decides to show her the carving. They're gonna be honest with each other. Great, we need that. She sees it. He just did that whole thing yesterday, and she sees it and she says it's a map, and that's pretty cool.
Yep. It didn't occur to me. Makes sense. Once I saw it, I said, "Doy, that's totally a map." Yeah, I love it.
I remember the first time I rewatched the show, because, as you know, I think at this point, the earlier seasons I've seen at least 10 times, but I do remember the first time I rewatched it, I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, duh, this is why I gotta rewatch things.
Yeah.
So then we have the end tag, which is when Dad shows up being badass. Love this scene. And let's all try to keep our heads about us. He cleans the table.
He gave him a warning. He gave him good advice, and they didn't need it.
And we learn that the obelisk is called the Diviner. He says, "I'll teach you how to survive it," which I think is an interesting line. And then he just wants to team up and kill Coulson. And it seems like he really only wants to kill Coulson because he's jealous.
Yeah. He watched that he's filled the role that he wants to have as a father to Skye, and now it's time for Coulson to die. I need to know more. Obviously there's a lot. I need to know more about him, because that's a flimsy villain ambition of you hug my daughter. So
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, because you're kind of he's clearly unstable and crazy. Rhaenys made it clear that he has spent the last however old Skye is looking for her. Like, to see her having you finally find her and she has like a new father figure. I think when you're a little nuts anyway, that's enough.
You're right. It is his mental instability that makes it work. But I want to see my daughter again that's gone. That just got overruled by the existence of a guy who is paternal to your daughter. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. I'm saying it's extreme. He's crazy. I get it. But yeah.
Fair. All right. So anything else about the episode before I dive into some history?
What's his name? Nick Blood had a really cool line, and I just wrote down part of it, and I couldn't. I don't remember what it was in reference to. Do you remember what he was talking about when he said, "quote voided God's warranty"?
Oh yeah, when the carving was in the back of that religious painting.
Yes, that's a great line. Voided God's warranty, and Nick Blood it just fell out of his mouth, and it was music, and it was really.
Yeah.
And then they moved on with the scene. I was like, great line.
Yeah,
That's all.
100%. Yeah, great. All right, so some fun facts. Bobby Morse, aka Mockingbird, aka Agent 19, I think it said 13 earlier, my bad. Debuts, or is it 13? No, it's Agent 19. I know things. I've seen this. Debuts in Astonishing Tales number 6 in 1971. So the character's been around for a while. And back when Adrian was cast, she talked about how she was approached for the role, and she's a big comic book fan. Her brother's a comic book writer, but she was like kind of nervous because she knew that if she took this role, she would probably never be able to play a Marvel character again. And as someone who played Wonder Woman, even though it didn't really get picked up, she made the pilot and it didn't really go forward. To go from Wonder Woman to a kind of a side character on a network show, I understand having trepidation like that, but she said the showrunners were very convincing. I'm glad that we all came together and that I got to be this character. So that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, because we didn't see Wonder Woman, and she's cool. She's really cool in this. And I remember now, I remember that pilot. I remember the buzz around it. I remember the photos. I remember seeing her and being like, she looks great. Yeah. But I'm glad she's here because I like her a lot.
It's a shame when pilots don't get picked up, and people who are listening and fans of the show know what I'm referring to. That's all I'll say. Another thing is, it looks like the Hydra base is in Pittsburgh, based on when we're on the roof. That's what the buildings look like, and I think that's even funnier. You can just scroll into Pittsburgh and walk into get yourself a hoagie and go walk into the Hydra building. Also, the location used for the reception in the opening scene is also in Daredevil, the 2003 Daredevil, the Ben Affleck one. And it is filmed at the Rendezvous Room of the Millennium Biltmore Hotel in downtown LA.
Oh, it's at the Biltmore. They filmed it at the Biltmore. Cool.
They sure did. Tony, are you ready to be trivia'd?
I have to say something before we start this. Because you know this to be true, and I just want you to confirm to the audience that I do not retain television well. I don't know what it is, but I've seen all of 30 Rock, and I love that show. And every now and then Jamie will be like, remember this episode of 30 Rock? And the answer is always no. So I just want to preface that my potential failing of this quiz is not reflective of my adoration for the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's all I have to say.
But I would like to say that no other show you've ever watched did you have to talk about and constantly revisit and think about. So I'm just saying.
I just tried to do a disclaimer, and you undid my disclaimer.
I maybe a quarter undid it. I think we'll see. I tried to start easy. We'll see. Maria, would you be so kind as to keep track of Tony's score?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. All right. First question. Are you ready? Yeah. Which of the following is not a season 1 episode title? Not a title. A, the bus, B, the asset, C, the well, or D, the hub? I can repeat them if you'd like.
Yes, please.
A, the bus, B, the asset, C, the well, or D, the hub?
The answer is A, the bus.
Yeah! Great job. Good work, Tony.
Yay. All right. So is that the end of the show or what?
No, but it is the end of multiple choice questions.
God damn it.
It is your only multiple choice question. But again, I tried to start easier, work up to the more difficult. So question 2, what does S.H.I.E.L.D. called an object of unknown origin?
An 084.
There you go. 2 for 2, baby. Yeah, see? We gotta boost you up a bit. We gotta make you feel good.
You're gonna just so you can cut me down, you monster.
No. I tried not to make these too hard. I genuinely like there are a couple maybe, but I don't think these are too hard.
All
I
right.
hope
Well,
those
if
at
I
home are
ace
playing.
these, you got to make them a little harder.
Yeah, this is a test,
All right.
Okay, and there are 15 questions. Okay.
What?
I love trivia. I wrote these questions in like 5 minutes. I love trivia. I so much. Okay, number 3. Who is the very first character we hear in the pilot?
The very first character we hear in the pilot is it's Deathlock. What's his name?
No, he's the first main character that we kind of see, but Sky has a voiceover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it starts with the Sky voiceover. But
Cool. You asked me a question from a year ago.
But I'm impressed that you knew that Mike was like in the first scene. I don't know. I'd give you a half point for that one if you
No,
wanted to take a half
don't,
point.
Maria.
Okay.
Don't give me a half point. Just
All right.
be truthful.
Okay. Number 4. What is the name of Patton Oswalt's character who was killed by Ward?
Koenig.
I'll accept it. That's his last name, but there are
Eric.
other Koenig. Like yes, Eric Koenig. All right, look at that. Wow, I'm so impressed. We're going back to the pilot again. So sorry, I know it was a year ago. Who in the pilot says the line, "It means someone really wanted our initials to spell out SHIELD"?
Oh yeah, who does say that?
Don't leave too much dead air. I guess I should try to riff.
No. I'm not positive. I can almost remember the scene. I feel like this is like whose line it is anyway, where I have to like there can't be dead air, so I just have to keep talking until I decide I'm going to give an answer. I'm going to say I'm torn, but I'm going to go with Kobe Smulders.
It is not, but that's a pretty good guess. Because that's like all around the same kind of scene. It was Ward who said that.
It was Ward. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that was a fair guess. All right, question 6. In Seeds, we learn that at SHIELD Academy, you can be a part of SHIELD Academy of Science and Technology, SHIELD Academy of Operations, or the SHIELD Academy of what?
And I remember that saying that this was the one that I would be in.
Yeah.
And I can't because it's a really kind of banal name. Operations, science, and stuff, and
technology.
Science and technology. It's not logistics. I can't remember.
Are you giving up?
I should give up so we can continue with the quiz.
Okay, communications.
Communications, right? The thing everybody majors in fucking college. Great.
Yeah. It's okay. You're doing pretty well. Honestly, you should feel good about yourself.
I do.
All right. Question number 7. In FZD, what was the item that infected the firefighters before Gemma was also infected?
Well, I don't remember what it was called. I know that it was like an electrical virus.
No, but there was an infective item that the firefighters all touched, and that's what infected them. What was the infected item?
This is right around the same time they found the Asgardian spear in a tree, so it's not the Asgardian spear in a tree, is it? No. What was the item? It was like floating. It was in the woods, though.
Think about it. These are firefighters.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a thing a firefighter would know about. It was
I'll give you a little hint.
Okay.
There were firefighters in New York.
Okay. So it was a Dalmatian.
Are you giving up?
I can't remember what the object was. What was it? Tell me what it was.
It was a Chitauri helmet.
It was the Chitauri helmet. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's got nothing to do with like people being from New York. It's that where the Battle of New York. All right.
Yeah,
no, it was a good hint. It was a good hint.
New York. That was a really good hint.
Yeah. Chitauri helmet. Totally.
All right. Question number 8.
I'm doing bad.
You've gotten some.
right.
I'm sure our listeners are playing along and really proud of themselves. Listeners, if you're playing, send me your score. Tell us how you did.
Yeah, tell the truth.
Okay. Question number 8. What is the name of Lady Sif's adversary in Yes Man? Men.
Lady Sif's adversary. Oh, that lady,
Mhm,
that Asgardian lady who gets in people's heads.
mhm.
It's funny that I have a notebook here and I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah, don't cheat.
Uh, and, I don't remember.
I'll give you a hint because I don't think it'll help, but it's like a really obvious hint. It is the name of a main character in Gilmore Girls.
Fuck you, Jamie. I don't watch Gilmore Girls. What's your problem?
Yeah, but you're on the internet. It might have helped. I don't know any other way to hint that name. That's the only other character I can think of with that name.
Does it start with an A?
No.
I know. I was testing you. What's her name?
Lorelai.
Lorelai. It was totally
Yeah.
Lorelai. Yeah.
I kind of want to check it with Maria because I didn't run these questions by her. Maria, do you think I made these too hard? What are your thoughts?
No.
I don't think you made them too hard. I've been kind of playing along, and I've definitely gotten more than
Fuck you,
like
Maria.
2 of them correct.
More than two.
Piss off. Worst producer ever.
I don't want to say how many I have gotten because I'm not officially playing.
Well, you can still play. That was I think in play. Lorelai. All right, thank you, Maria. All right. Now I know how hard I should make these questions.
I told
Okay.
the audience. All right, go on.
Okay. What's the name of the episode that aired after Captain America Winter Soldier? The episode we had Clark Gregg on our podcast to talk about. You agreed to this. I just
No.
everyone.
I actually. Turn.
Yes, there you
Yes.
go. Good work.
Yeah.
Nice job. All right. Number 10. How many season 1 episodes feature Colby Smulders as Maria Hill?
How many?
Mhm.
3.
2.
Shit.
I know. But close. She's in the pilot and
Yeah.
Nothing Personal. So yes. Okay. Question number 11. Dr. Straighton is the name of the doctor who operated on Coulson after he died for the Tahiti Project. We see him a couple times. What's
Yeah.
the name of the actor who plays that doctor? And your hint is, I had to throw in a Firefly. He's one of the main actors in Firefly since we did Firefly this summer.
I know that he plays Booth in Firefly.
Wrong name. You're so close. It's Book.
Book. It's Book. Yeah. See, this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. Anyone who's listening to this, I love that character. I don't even know his fucking name. I don't remember the actor's name.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying. I was not trying to embarrass you.
Well, you did.
Ron Glass.
Ron Glass, the great
passed away.
Ron Glass, who plays
Yes.
Book in Firefly.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I thought we'd throw in a little Firefly in there. Okay. Whew. Question 12. In The Asset, what is the name of the fictional element that lands in the hands of Ian Quinn that alters gravity fields?
Gravitonium.
There you go.
Easy.
Nice work.
You said thanks for putting
Gravitonium.
the word gravity in there for me.
Yeah, I did. I was kind of throwing it. I at this point, I was like, let's help him out.
You knew the exact arc that this was going to take.
All right. 13. In I Spy, we meet a former protege of Coulson's who is being controlled with a device in her eye. You were sad we were never going to see her again. But do you remember her name?
Oh, man. Not only are you asking hard questions, you're asking Aquila?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aquila Amador. See? You were going to accuse me of something.
I was self-conscious.
But you got it.
I did.
Okay, 2 left. This one, I will say, is hard because it's the second to last question. I'm just going to be honest, but maybe you'll
Okay.
know. In 084, Nick Fury shows up in the end to yell at Coulson for wrecking the bus. He tells him not to let Fitzsimmons add any modifications, quote, like a damn blank. Like what? And then Coulson goes, 86 the blank, or cancel the blank, whatever it is.
I remember the moment for sure,
Mhm,
and it was
mhm.
funny, but I don't remember what he said.
Fish tank.
I wouldn't have gotten it. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the final question?
Yeah.
Before the final question, Maria, what is Tony's score?
Okay, so far Tony has 6 correct
6?
and 8 wrong.
Okay.
Well, we could infer that, Maria. You didn't need.
You know the math.
Sorry.
No. Thank you, Maria. Okay, final question. And I feel like, baby, you should have seen this one coming. What does SHIELD stand for?
Strategic Homeland Intervention. Something logistic. I knew this when we started this project, Jamie. When we did our first Love in the Strong Homeland Intervention.
You're close.
I can't remember what the E is, and I don't remember what the S is. So
no, you got the S.
No, the second head. No way, yeah. Strategic
There's only one
Homeland.
S.
How many shields are we talking about here? Strategic Homeland Intervention blank Logistics Division.
You're so close. You're just missing the E.
All right, this counts as a percentage score, just so you know, Maria. Whenever if I don't get the whole thing, intervention.
You're doing great. You have all the words correct that you've said. It's just you're missing the E.
Strategic Homeland Intervention.
I don't want to do the Jeopardy music. I don't want to be basic. So I'm just going to riff a little while Tony thinks of the E. You are so close.
Strategic Homeland Intervention. Clark Gregg says it so many times in Iron Man.
I know.
I just can't. I don't know it. Just say the word.
You did well. It is Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
No, you did pretty well. There's a video of somebody, I think it's at maybe the Civil War premiere or the Infinity War premiere, where a reporter asks a bunch of Marvel actors like Elizabeth Olsen, Tom Holland, to say what it stands for, and almost none of them get it right. So if that makes you feel better, you were actually you did better than Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, well, I like to think I'm generally better than Elizabeth Olsen.
Calm down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, Maria, what is Tony's final score? Like a 7.5?
More than a half.
Yeah, I would say it's like 6 3/4.
All right.
Okay. All right. Honestly, not terrible. Maria, what was your score?
8.
All right. Okay.
All right. I don't feel too bad about that. That's pretty good.
I can tell you all, if someone had given me this quiz, I definitely wouldn't have gotten Fish Tank. I would not have remembered that.
Okay.
That was meant to be I'm sure there are a million people listening like, I got it. I knew it, because I'm sure you did. But I will admit fully that I probably would have missed at least that one on this quiz.
You know what fills me with fear is knowing that this is going to be like everyone's favorite episode. And now literally I'm just going to be getting quizzed weekly and just be sitting here racking my brain. And it's not like I can research this stuff because I might get spoilers. It's not like I can research this stuff because I might get spoilers. So I'm very concerned for my future.
Don't be. I hope that I feel like we'll probably do this now at the end of each season because this was really fun for me specifically, and I feel like
It is
I know
fun.
that our listeners are going to be like, we want to be in the chat next time. I think that I can foresee everybody wanting to be in the chat for this one in the future.
Oh no, for sure. It is kind of
Mhm.
unfortunate. We didn't have a guest today. We're recording ahead of time. In the future, when we do quizzes, 100% in the comments in the chat, you all can pop off.
Mhm.
This was just the introductory one where I stew in frustration.
Yeah, you can all blame our previous Firefly Patreon guest Tyler Davis for choosing to get married this weekend.
Yep.
No, so excited, really hyped about that. All right, that is it. I don't have a lot of Tony leaves the room stuff. I don't like need to just talk out loud. So, Tony, say your thank yous.
Thank you, Jamie, for making a hard quiz for me. Thank you to Stephanie at Eclectic Muses on socials for doing our artwork. Thank you to Ryan Miera of Yellow Pills at Yellow Pills Music on Instagram for doing our really good music. And thank you to our producer, Maria, and scorekeeper, and better scorekeeper and scorer than me, Maria. Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Oh, this was fun. It's nice to have guests. I love to have guests, but I also like to drink wine and make my boyfriend answer questions. Okay, so reminder at LidoPod on Instagram and Twitter. Like, subscribe, leave reviews, Spotify, YouTube, all the places. Please, please, and thank you. Tell your friends. Next week, reminder, we are going live on a one-time only new day so that Paul from Heavy Spoilers can join us. He's from the UK. We are talking A Fractured House on Monday, October 28th at, get this, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Anyone who knows me knows that it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I'm ready. It's going to be live, so you can join in the chat. I hope that our diehard UK listener Alice, I hope that this is a better time for her than our normal time slot. Thank you again to everybody. Thank you, Tony, for letting me quiz you, and thank you, Maria, for as always for being here. We will see you next week.
Bye.